have you seen any of the Terrifier films?
I'm going to be interested to see what you say about these, because these are films which I'm kind of curious what someone actually genuinely thinks about that's seen them. Because the media and bits of on social media talking about people throwing up, fainting, all sorts of crazy strong reactions to this. But then, is it really that bold? Now, you have, I mean, to put it into context,
yeah,
I'm okay with watching some gory things, but you've got a lot stronger stomach than me, haven't you?
Yeah.
And I don't like what I class as Gorenography.
Nice.
So stuff like Hostel, you know, stuff like that, torture porn sort of stuff, where for me, I'm not that interested in that sort of stuff. It's schlocky and a bit old-fashioned,
right? Some
of the older movies, and I think it's okay, but
it is
gore for gore's sake.
Yeah, it is. And for me, growing up, I've also got a couple of friends who are into Asian horror, so things like Audition. Oh, and then we've got things like
Takeshi Miike stuff.
Yeah, some of those. Right. So, and yeah, you hear the people are walking out the cinema, and then no, it's just rubbish. I think to this day, I think the worst cinema experience was Blair Witch, probably. So, my son watched this, and he was like, "Oh, Dad, now Rob, didn't your son say it's like a student film? Terrifier 1. This is the first Terrifier film."
Yeah, he said it looked like almost like a crowd-funded, fan-made sort of borderline student film, sort of cheap and very. But I guess it's made some money. It didn't have to probably do that bigger business to make its money back.
It's like, do you remember the video nasties of the 80s? And I'm trying to Driller Killer and all that. It really is that for a new generation. It's Terrifier 1 does not have any, like they did Evil Dead and then Evil Dead 2, which is basically a remake. Terrifier 1 doesn't have any plot whatsoever. Two women are in a bar after a Halloween thing. The Terrifier, it's called Art the Clown, isn't he? Oh, we'll give him kudos. The actor is quite good. He's like almost like a mime. He never speaks, and he does do kind of like. So like one of the girls is screaming at one point, and he does this kind of like shocked, waving hands face, in mime. So he's a good actor like that. But basically, then he follows these girls to an abandoned warehouse, and then kills them, and then a few other people turn up and he kills them, and that's basically it. It's kind of a story of two things. On one hand, it's super, super low budget, and it is Gorenography. Listeners, if you've got your kids in the car or anything, I tell you what, Rob. No, we're a family-friendly podcast and show. I won't do it, but it's super, super gory, right? Very, very gory, very strong. But
so is the gore in it like? Is the sort of the gore and the violence in it? Is it quite clever, inventive, black comedy, or is it just kind of sick and repulsive? There,
it's sick and repulsive. What I will say is, we watched Hellraiser, didn't we, the other week, which was fine. In a lot of horror nowadays, you might get, say, someone with a hammer, and they'll go to hammer their victim, and the camera will look away, or the attacker will get blood spray. In this, you actually see someone's head being hammered in. But here's the thing. You've got, because it's low budget, it's like, oh, I'm going to attack this person, a guy, a woman, and then it's like, just very slight cut. Oh, I'm actually hammering in a dummy's head. It looks like a dummy's head. Oh, wait a minute, I'm chopping off someone's leg. I'm actually chopping off a dummy's leg. The effects in the first film are super. They're clever. Do you remember Peter Jackson's first film, Bad Taste?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Right. That was clever, funny, super gory, but obviously low budget with dummies and quite.
Yeah, when you watch a film like that, you're almost enjoying watching it because you're actually thinking, oh, wouldn't it be fun to make a film like this with my mates? I think that's the appeal of it.
And I think that is the appeal for the Terrifier. But what I will say is, the subject matter's a little bit strong, so there are a couple of women being tortured and murdered. There's a couple of good special effects for someone who survives this attack, and she's been interviewed on TV, and she's got she almost got her face skinned off, so that's quite good makeup. To be honest, Rob, I hate to play into these sort of Daily Mail headlines. It's quite strong, I can understand why people maybe would have walked out, because the subject matter is really strong. There is a bit where someone gets chainsawed up. Well, obviously, it looks like a dummy being chainsawed up, but of course, the intent of the character in the film is really quite strong. Violence against women, violence against, well, other human beings. So but wrapped in with this low budget kind of 80s video nasty vibe. So that's Terrifier 1. Terrifier.
Okay. So Terrifier 1 then.
Yeah.
It's hard to say. Well, what would you give that out of 10? But I suppose if you compare it to those low budget schlockers.
Yeah, it's a 4 or 5 for
4 or 5 severed limbs out of 10.
For effort.
Okay.
How about that? Terrifier 2. I only watched this at the weekend. It's basically they've gone, oh, okay, now there's a budget, and now we're going to have some actual actors in it, and we're going to flesh it out a little bit. It is fleshed out a little bit. There are some more actors, but it's like what they've done is they've sat around and they've gone, oh, I know, think of the most inventive ways you could possibly kill somebody, and then they ramp it up to 10. There's one bit where someone gets almost peeled alive, and then he throws salt and bleach over them.
I don't want to see a film that does this sort of stuff in it, to be honest.
And this is it. Again, the special effects are much better, but you still are chopping up dummies. So there's a guy, Art the Clown, goes to a local joke shop. The guy behind the counter sells him some stuff. Something happens. Someone gets killed. And again, he uses a hammer to hammer his head in. But of course, it's a dummy's head. Now, they're better effects than the first film. But it's like you said, it's gorenography, it's gratuitous, it's the intent of it. There's a little bit of a supernatural vibe going on, and there is a little bit of a Nightmare on Elm Street in the dream world type thing going on.
Because this clown guy, is he like sort of an invincible? Is he like a, with like Michael Myers, how he just became supernatural, didn't he? Because he just cannot be stopped, and Freddy Krueger can't be stopped. Is it that, as opposed to like the Joker, just a nutter dressed up? Kind of.
Okay. Spoilers for the next few seconds. In the first film, he's a regular guy. Something happens, and he's resurrected from the dead. In the second film, he kind of acts and goes, "Oh, wait a minute, I am actually invincible now." So he kind of doesn't know himself. It's unknown what happens to him. It is, Rob. It's video nasty. Mary Whitehouse would have a field day with this. It's video nasty.
Reference.
Yeah, I know. For the old school listen, video nasty, schlock horror, gorenography. It's low budget trash, to be honest. Now, I can't deny the effort that's gone in. And I've seen an interview with the actor and the filmmaker, and they're all pretty decent people, And look, Peter Jackson started off with low budget gore, and then he became, such a massive director. So maybe we'll see this guy doing other things. But again, Terrifier 2, it's more of the same.
Is there enough stuff in it, and is there enough nasty gore bits in it that it passes things like the phone tests and the T test?
Oh yeah, absolutely. To be fair, you can't look away. But, and even for me, and I've watched a lot of horrors, I kind of went, oh, that's a bit strong. And that's it. It's a bit strong. It's gratuitous. It is almost like, if you watch Nightmare on Elm Street or even some of the Friday the 13th, there's a little bit, I won't say humour with it, but it is a bit schlocky, isn't it? And it's a little bit tongue-in-cheek. This is...
Yeah, I think sometimes as well, where when they show... just some. I'm trying to think of something like the 80s and early 90s ones where you'd have like an annoying yuppie or something like that who deserves it, or you just have some annoying kids that deserve it, don't you? So sometimes it's like that, but I think when it's unpleasant for me, when those sort of movies are less enjoyable, is when they just seem to be like innocent people
and
that
they
are just kidnapped and attacked and
killed,
and it's just, well, that's what's unpleasant about.
Yeah,
watching Silence of the Lambs or something.
That's
when
right.
the victims on it's not nice.
In the second film, they wrapped up in a bit more of a story with a bit more lore in it. But again, look, I've watched them. I won't be watching them again. It's extremely gory. even though they are dummies and puppets. Obviously, they can't hide it that well. And I can see why people walked out cinemas and things, because you could probably watch and you think this is just, it's a bit much. So
yeah, if you're going to see it because your friends sort of recommended it and you've watched the Scream movies as horror movies, I suppose, then, and you've not seen these sort of things before, then I suppose those sort of people would go out. But I think I must be exaggerating a bit, where you've seen your horror movies and you went on unless you've blacked out and didn't realise it, and you missed the really good bit in the middle of the film. Maybe. No,
can't really recommend, to be honest, Rob. Can't really recommend.
So Terrifier 2 out of 10?
5 or 6 for effort and higher budget.
Okay. When the inevitable third one comes out, though, would you watch that?
Well, interestingly, no. Well, maybe just for interest's sake, but I won't be rushing to watch it. Interestingly, the actor I've just read today, who plays Arthur Clown, is actually going to be the Grinch in a Grinch horror that's coming out very soon, apparently.
Oh dear.
I know. So we'll find out how that goes. Thanks for watching. Please give us a like and subscribe to see more of our content.